Okay, we're on page 123. Let's see who I have. Okay, and your name is Leah Princeton. Okay. Okay, so the next step after you had the winnowing, which was getting rid of the light waste, which was blown away by the wind, everything fell back down. So now you have the plants that are going to be used for the dye, or the grain that's going to be used for making bread. So now they have pebbles with them. They have stones. So now you have to get rid of that. That was done. Removal of a mixture. So that is this malacha. Doing it with a tool that's special for it. And that would also include taking away something that is waste. Even if you're going to be eating it right away, that is also included. So the terms of the terms that the Shulchan Aruch uses, the Talmud uses, is the wanted is called ochel. The unwanted is so the ochel is the food, solus is the waste, and we put it into a general way that whatever is wanted is called ochel, whatever is unwanted is called solus, even though it's perfectly good. So now this malacha applies both to foods, that which comes from the ground, and also to different items that are a part of a mixture, even though it is not food. It would include clothes, it would include dinnerware, plates, different items of toys or games, different colors. All of this would be considered a mixture of different kinds. Now, what makes it a mixture? Let's have what makes it, so basically we're speaking about something that is a unit, one group. So give me some examples of this. What would be considered a mixture that you're not allowed to separate out on Shabbos? What puts everything into a group? In other words, I have things here on the table. Okay, let's say one thing would be size. So if it is small size, but what makes it together as one group? How does it become a group? Okay, I have here on my table. Is this a mixture? I have here all different things, I have little things. Is this a mixture? Huh? Am I allowed to pick this? Am I allowed to take this, put this away in the refrigerator? At night, I'm not going to drink it until tomorrow. Can I take it off the table?
No, because it's like not where you're gonna have Shabbos.
Is it, huh?
Like
I'm speaking now as far as borer is concerned, as far as the mixture is concerned. Taking the wanted, unwanted, whatever. I'm speaking about a mixture. Is the bottle of seltzer on this table part of this table as part of a mixture?
No.
Huh?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, also there's,
So what-
aren't there so many other things like
No,
that go into that?
No, we're going now into this. I'm trying to figure out what makes it a mix, what makes it a unit, what makes it a group, and what doesn't. So this seltzer bottle on the table is not a part of a group. Okay. Now, so what does make it into a group?
You're not using it on Shabbos.
I'm speaking now about a group. See, the seltzer, let's say the seltzer I'm not going to be using on Shabbos. I want to put it away in the refrigerator. Could I put it away in the refrigerator?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. It's not. There's no malacha involved.
When it's
If there's no malacha,
integrated,
it's
integrated,
in.
integrated.
Integrated. Okay, so we're speaking now about a group that's going to. So how does it become a group? So let's give it one example. Would be you have a challenge. You have a bowl of fruits. You have a candy dish of an assortment of different kind of items. So you have the pot or the dish is going to make it into a group. So in that case, if I do have the bowl of fruit, what could I and what can I not do on Shabbos? It's a fruit, it's a bowl of fruit that has different kinds of fruit in it. Have oranges and apples and plums and peaches. They're all in this bowl. So now this is one group. It all became a one unit. What could I do and what can I not do on Shabbos? When can I take out of this bowl fruit? I want now. I have now an orange. I want to put the orange in the refrigerator. Can I take out the orange out of this bowl? Hmm?
No,
No.
I said I'm putting it in the refrigerator. For later use, I cannot take anything out of a mixture.
Is it cut, it's cut up or it's just?
No, it's just, so they're whole fruit, but the fact that they're in one bowl, that makes it into one unit. And now separating this unit is only under certain circumstances can I do so. I can only do so if I'm going to use it now. When I told you I'm putting it in the refrigerator, I'm putting it for a later time. If I wanted to eat it now, I would take it now and eat it. So the only time you could take out of a mixture is only if you're going to use it now. If I'm doing it for later use, that is a malacha, a Torah prohibition. If you would do so and forgot that it's Shabbos, you would have to go to the Beis HaMikdash and bring a kol mechatas. Okay, so separating a mixture for later use, even though everything is edible, there's oranges and peaches and apples, everything is you're able to eat, there's no waste there. But we consider the fact that you're separating a mixture, that itself is a malacha for later use. If you're going to use it now, so then what could you do? Take what's the permissible way now? I want to take an orange. So when is it permissible to take the orange out? When I
Want it?
to eat the orange now. When can I peel the orange? When can I take the peel of the orange? When I want to eat it now.
And I can squeeze the orange if I want
Wh-
salad food.
Yes, you may.
I can take-
When are you going to? Yes, you may.
But I cannot squeeze on water.
That's correct.
I
Cannot squeeze on water. But
What is it like?
the difference is because
Because I would drink
Because,
that.
no, because you're not allowed to make it into a liquid. If I put it into food, it's a food. If I make it into a liquid, it's the same as which Torah prohibition, which liquid is a Torah prohibition? The same as making grape juice. Making grape juice on Shabbos is a Torah prohibition. Making orange juice seems to us the same. The Rabbanon said you're not allowed to do it because we get confused between grape juice and orange juice.
And I can squeeze this orange.
Because you make it from an orange, we consider the juice of an orange food. From food to food is fine.
But I can squeeze this orange on the salad and
Yes.
then I can put the orange on my water. No, because
You could put the whole, you could put the whole orange inside.
I can
If you
put.
want to slice an orange, If you want it, you
Well,
could
I
put a
don't
slice,
do
but not making it, you see, when you're slicing an orange, you're taking a food, and putting it into a liquid, that is fine, that is good.
And like, when you squeeze it, you just put in the water, like just to have like a flavor in your
No,
water.
no, you can't, that you have to do before Shabbos.
Okay.
If you
But
do want to put in
the-
slices of orange are fine. Because you're not making it into a liquid, you're taking the orange and putting it into water, that's fine.
Okay, so if I could and put, okay.
But not to make it into a liquid. Okay, now, so we have now so back again to our mixture, a bowl of different fruits. So taking what you want for immediate use is permissible. And so one thing of a mixture is they're all together in one bowl. What's another type of mixture? Where even though they're big pieces, you can recognize each one. So, okay, salad in a bowl. So now you have tomatoes. What's our salad? Tomatoes, lettuce, onions, peppers, cucumbers. Okay. Now, if you like everything, then it's in your, so you eat everything. You don't like the onions. You don't like the onions.
I can take the good for the bad.
That's correct. You take what you want and leave what you don't want behind. Take that. That's for you. It's good, even though for other people they love onions. But you take for you, you're allowed to take what you want and leave what you don't want behind. And what happens if you did take from the bowl, put it into a plate, and there is an onion. So you just eat and leave the onion behind. You'll eat everything besides the onion. That's it. So that's fine. You take what you want, you don't want, you leave what you leave it on your plate, right? Now, what happens if you don't want, but what's going to happen with this onion that you left on your plate is going to be wasted. What do you do if you don't want to waste it? You're sitting at the table together with your Chana friends, and you're sitting at the table, and you see that you have an onion in your plate. What could you do not to waste it? Ask the next person if they would like the onion. They say yes. They take you can give them the onion because it's a wanted, huh? If no one wants it, then what would you do? There's nothing to do with it. That's it. Leave it in your plate. You leave it in your plate. What you could do, another thing would be, if you don't want to waste it, you could take another plate and take out everything into the other plate and leave the onion behind so no one touched it. And then you could put it back into the bowl.
And someone can take the onion like on my plate because
Yes,
for her it's good.
That's
So
right.
I can take like,
that's right.
okay,
Yes, and even you can give it to them.
I can,
You could give it to them as well because you're giving something that's wanted to somebody who wants it.
okay.
So it's a wanted item. It's not going in the garbage. You cannot take it out and put it in the garbage. Yes.
So then in that same situation, you wouldn't go to the salad bowl and be like, you wouldn't, let's say, get your plate and have the onions and like everything on your plate and then go to the trash and pick out the onions and throw them in the
No,
trash.
you cannot do that.
The bad from the good.
Bad from the good cannot be done at any time. The definition of bad is what is bad for you, that you don't want, even though it's perfectly good, but it goes according to the person, whatever he doesn't want. There are certain bads that everyone says is bad. For instance, if you have shell you have the shell of an egg in your egg salad. So now taking that out, that's bad. That is
I
bad.
can move, like put,
In the plate itself, you can move it
Yeah,
around.
I
Yeah,
can move.
You-
So
yes,
If
it's
I have this, I can
you
like.
can move it to the side. Yeah, to get a little bit.
Can we choose from salad bowl?
You could take what you want. Yes.
Like, if I see here are onions and here are more like cucumbers, can I take cucumbers?
Yes, no
more? Like,
problem.
can
Yes.
I pick?
Yes, you can put it. You can pick. You can choose what you want. What you want, you could take.
The good for
Good.
the bad, but
Mhm.
You can choose a good.
right? But it has to be done when you're ready to eat it.
So if you're eating salad and there in your plate, there are onions, you can't pick up the onions and move, but
You
you
could,
can
you could
take
move it
them aside.
to the side. Yes. Yes, because it's still in the plate. Now, what else makes it a mixture? Even if it's not mixed, so over here, when we're speaking about the salad, everything's mixed together. What's another example that this malacha would apply, where it's, you have different items, but they're not mixed. You could see each one separately. Can anyone give me an example of that? What would be an example of something that is in one,
Rice and lentils.
rice and lentils? Let me give a rice and lentil, are mixed together or they're in the same plate?
Yeah, like when you put it in the pot, you cook it, then you put the lentils and you cook it all together, and then you have a dish that's like rice, lentils, and
Okay,
onions. and-
Okay. Another thing would be, we would call that a platter. Okay, a platter, does everyone know what a platter is? A platter would be, let's say you have a platter of cold cuts, where you have salami, bologna, pastrami, corned beef, and everything is in a platter. Or you have a platter of pastries. You have cinnamon, chocolate, cake, sponge cake, marble cake, they're all in a platter. So even though you could see each row, but the fact that they're all together in one platter, this becomes one unit, and now it becomes the rules of Borer apply. So you take what you want when you're ready to eat from the platter. What happens if you had a party? You had a party, and after that, you want to put the cold cuts in the refrigerator. But the platter is too big to go into the refrigerator. What could you do to put the items that are on the platter? How could you separate them? Can you take all the salami and put that in one bag, all the bologna in another bag, and all the pastrami in another bag? Can you do that?
You put it all together.
Yeah, but I'm asking you the way I'm asking you. Can you take all the salami and put that in a bag, one of these plastic bags, and then take all the pastrami? Can you take them out? Each group, each item, each category? Can I separate the categories? No, because this is a mixture. Separating a mixture for later use cannot be done. You're not going to be eating the salami now. You're not eating the pastrami now. So putting them in separate bags would be the malacha of borer. What could you do?
Put it all together.
Put them all together, take them at random, take whatever it is and put in without choosing different rows to make them into separate categories. Keep them together as random. The same now, let's go. So now we have that. So number one was it's all in a bowl. Number two is they're all lined up, but in a platter, and the platter makes them all one unit. Number three would be if they are attached. If the wanted and unwanted is attached. Can you give me an example of food that has wanted and unwanted that is attached?
The grapes with the little
Okay, grapes on a stem. What could you do, what can you not do with the grapes?
eat it like this and not pull the stem off first and throw it away.
You cannot pull off the stem and throw that away. That's correct. You're all attached. You take it, eat it off the stem. What happens if you have rotten, spoiled grapes, and you want to put this cluster of grapes on the stem, you want to put them on a fruit platter. Can you take off the rotten?
No.
This would be that even if you want to use it now, even if you want to eat it now, you cannot take off the waste, you cannot take off the unwanted, you cannot take off the spoiled from the good. That cannot be
Take out
done.
the wanted, like if you
Yeah.
have like a bag in the refrigerator, instead of pulling out the unwanted, can you just cut it and leave the unwanted in the bag and pull out good,
Yes. Now, for immediate use or later use?
immediate.
Immediate use is fine. What can you do for later use?
What do you mean?
If you have now on the stem, you have spoiled grapes. You don't want to put that on the platter. What could you do on Shabbos that would be permissible? What can you do?
You need to take all the good one.
You want to keep it on the stem. You don't want to take them off the stem. You want to keep it on the stem. You know, it's nice. Bunch, a group. What can you do on Shabbos to
Put it at
keep
the
you,
bottom,
huh?
put it under all the grapes.
What you could do is, depending where it is, if it's together with good grapes, you break off a piece that has the bad and the good together. So most of it is good, a little bit is bad. So as long as you still have the mixture of good and bad together, that stayed a mixture. So you break off the piece of the stem that has some good grapes and bad grapes on it, and then you put the rest away because this mixture was not changed. You still have good and bad mixed together. The same idea would be what happens if you have a lettuce leaf. So it's advised to check the lettuce leaves before Shabbos. What can you not do on Shabbos as far as the lettuce leaves are concerned? What can you not do with the lettuce leaves that were not checked on Shabbos? What can you not do? Can you how would you normally check and clean your leaves on Friday? Tell me how you do it. Lettuce leaves, you have to make sure that has no bugs. Some of it has dirt. So on Friday, what would you do?
I would wash.
Yes,
And then I check.
yes.
And if I see something, I rip it and throw it away.
Or on Friday, what else would you do? That's what you would do. How
Like you
would,
soak them in like just soap and water or vinegar and water, you can't do that on.
okay, so on Friday, you could soak them in liquid, in vinegar, soap. What it does is it loosens the dirt. It doesn't kill them. It's not there to kill them. It's there to loosen them. Normally, they hold on to the leaf. When it's slippery, they lose their grip, whether alive or dead, and they go into the water. So on the weekday, Friday, you may do so. On Shabbos, you cannot soak the lettuce leaves in water to clean them because you're using the water as a separator. That you cannot do on Shabbos. It is borer. It's the same halacha that we're speaking about now. So what could be done on Shabbos if you do find an insect, example that she gave is perfectly good. You tear off a piece of the leaf. It still has good. It's a good part in it. It has the insect with it. So now we just don't have the bad. You have the good and the bad that's still as was before. Not on the whole leaf, but on a part of a leaf.
I have a question.
Mhm.
So first, a regular grape, can you tear it off the stem?
Yes, you're taking what you want from me.
And okay.
Yes.
And their question, like, there are a lot of melachim, like maybe you know one, or maybe you forgot something little, like it's not little, but sometimes you forget. Like, are you not doing the mitzvah of keeping Shabbos? Because like I always think like how many Shabbos of my life did I actually keep? Because sometimes I do things and I don't realize, like I have a napkin and I ripped a little bit and like.
Okay, we're going to learn about ripping napkins. We're going to learn what is a malacha, what is not a malacha. If you don't know about it, so you're learning. You cannot run before you learn how to walk. First crawl, and then stand, and then walk, and then run. You have steps, so that's fine. You don't have to. You should not be feeling stressed out when Shabbos is coming. That your Shabbos is here. What am I going to do? I have to sit like this all Shabbos. But that's not what Shabbos is about. That's not what our class is about. Our class is about what you could do as well. Your question is, since it is Shabbos is there to enjoy the Shabbos, why do we have all these restrictions? Why do we have all these malachas? Is that part of your question?
Not really.
Not
but-
really? Okay, but anyway, so the example is that you have, you're working for the king. Then the king invites you to his palace and wants to talk to you. So even though you have a lot of work to do for him, but since he's talking to you, it's disrespectful to do other things instead of communicating with the king. So the malachas is a distraction. The Torah tells us it's a distraction. So how do you know what the king does want when he doesn't want when he's talking to you? So when we're eating our Shabbos meal, the Shekhinah, Hashem's presence, is with us at the table. So borer is disrespectful when the king is with us. This is the specialty of Shabbos. We have the Shekhinah with us. We have the Hashem's. That's why we dress specially, even if no one is there. We dress for Shabbos, not for the people who are going to be with us. Or if nobody's with us, we still dress for Shabbos because it's Shabbos. Okay. So it's something that is attached. So as long as you leave it still in its mixture, attachment, then it's fine. So what happens if you have fats on your meat, a fatty piece of meat? So the place where they are attached, that is the mixture, their attachment. Separating the two completely is our malacha. What could be done is leave it in its mixture. How do you do so? Cutting off the fat and leaving a very fine piece of fat with it, or the other way would be cutting away the meat and leaving a little slice of meat with it. Either way, the mixture is still there. Their place of attachment still stayed. So it's either removing most of the fats or removing all of the fats with a little piece of meat, the same as we did with our lettuce leaf that we tore off the part that has the insect on it, the bug on it, and we left the rest of it good. Now we have a fourth category. The fourth category is if you have a pile. So what happens if you have a pile of svarim? You have all of the svarim that are piled up. Can you sort them out and put them away in their proper place on Shabbos? So I have over here, it should be the other way around. Okay, this is a pile. This is a mixture. What made it into a mixture? Because they're all together. When they were spread out on the table, I could do whatever I want with them because it's not a mixture. It's not a pile. It's not a unit. It's not a group. But now it is a group. So on Shabbos, I want to clear the table. What do I do with this? Take the whole thing and put it in the bookshelf. Take it everything and put it in the bookshelf. I cannot take now all this to do and take out, separate the pile. If I want to use anything, if I want to use a siddur, no problem. Take the siddur out and use the siddur because I'm going to use it now.
And you're just cleaning.
If I'm cleaning, then I have to take the whole thing, put it away. Unless if you are in the Chabad house and you have the pile and everyone is coming now to daven. You want to put the Chumashim in the Chumash section, you want to put the Siddur in the Siddur section, since everyone is going to be using it now, so it's being separated for immediate use. Everything is wanted. The last two, so the Siddurim are going to be used, the Chumashim are going to be used, but these will not be used. So this I will not put in separate, I will not put this into the Torah anthology section. I'm going to just take these two that is not going to be used, and then I'm going to put on the bookshelf. After Shabbos, I'll put this in its proper place. But on Shabbos itself, I could, right before it's going to be used, I could take whatever is going to be used and put them away. But it's not going to be used right away for this minyan, then I just take whatever is left. However, if everything was on the table, it's a mixture. Because everything, there's no group, there's no unit, everything is separate. If I want to clean the table, I could take this and put this away with the Siddurim, put this away with the Chumashim. That I could do, even if I'm not going to use it, I just want to clean up the table. So then, if I'm not going to be, if it doesn't bother me and I'm going to leave it this way, there's no reason for me to clean up. If I do want to clean up and make it, clean for Shabbos, then even though I'm not going to be using these, since it's not borer, since it's not a malacham, I want to make the table, free. So then I could put everything away in its proper place.
question that doesn't pertain to this.
Let's leave it after class.
Okay.
So now, let's take now, no, so we have now four things that make it into a unit, a group, and you're not allowed to take for later use. You're not allowed to take, even though everything is good, you're not allowed to separate it for later use. For immediate use, you take what you want and leave what you don't want behind. So we had a bowl of a salad bowl. We had a pot. Everything makes whatever's in the pot, whatever's in the salad bowl makes it into a unit, a group. The second thing we had was if it's on a platter, even though you could see every row separately, but the fact that it's on one platter makes it into one group. Number 3 is something that is attached. Good and bad are attached. Separating the two completely is our malacha. Number 4 is a pile that makes it into a unit. So your drawer. So we have now the so this malacha applies to foods, to svarim, to clothes, to plates, to cutlery, knives, spoons, and forks. All of these are included in what you could and cannot separate on Shabbos, pieces of a game. So all of these are included in this malacha. So you have your drawer of the same kinds of, let's say you have a drawer of socks. So if everything is the same color, then it's not a mixture. Everything is the same. If it's different colors, can you Friday night take and put out what you're going to be wearing tomorrow? If it's different colors, you're going to choose the color you want for tomorrow. It's in the drawer. It's all together. It's one unit. Huh?
It's good.
Yeah, but for later use, you're not wearing it now. You're wearing it tomorrow.
If you're doing it before Shabbos.
Huh?
If you're doing it before Shabbos.
Before Shabbos yet, Friday night,
Oh, like,
no.
but then on Saturday you can.
When you're ready to get dressed. You open the drawer, you take the color that you want. Now, if you have also a packed closet, unless you have all one uniform, then it's all the same. But if it's different colors and different styles and different items, then we consider that also as one unit, as one group. You take what you want when you're ready to wear it. So Friday night, you could, if you want to prepare everything on Friday, fine. If Friday night, if you want to prepare for tomorrow, no. What happens if tomorrow you took out a dress? That's what you looked. This is the dress that you want, took it out. And then you see that it is wrinkled. You don't want to wear it. Did you do anything wrong by taking this dress? Could you put it back? Question? Any answer?
I don't know, but I do that every Shabbos, so I need to know.
So you have to know the answer. So what's the answer? Huh?
In an answer, please.
When you took it out, your intention was to wear it. It goes according to your intention. You did nothing wrong by taking it out because you were going to wear it. You change your mind, that's fine. Could you put it back? Yes, there's no malacha in putting it into a mixture. The malacha is taking out of a mixture, not putting into a mixture. So there's nothing wrong with putting it back, and then you choose something else. Take it out.
Okay,
You
so
could-
I can take it off my dress and say, I use tomorrow. It's Shabbos yet. It's Shabbos yet?
Is it Shabbos yet or not?
No.
Friday?
it's Friday
Fri-
night.
the-
and then I
Friday
go to
night, no,
my
Friday
bed.
night becomes already Shabbos. Then you cannot take what you want to, unless you're going to put it on Friday night, you cannot take it out.
Just tomorrow, I wake up and I say, okay, whatever.
Right. If you wanted to set up, if you're a person who likes to set up everything in advance, you do that on Friday. You do that on Friday.
Friday
Then you-
before.
Right, yeah, before Shabbos, you'll take it out. If it needs pressing, ironing, you'll iron it, press it, make it good, choose it. But on Shabbos itself, when you're ready to wear it, that's when you take it out.
So you can say, maybe I wore it, let me see.
Yes, you can do that also. You can take that out and see like this, however you choose your clothes. There's no issue with doing it. If this is what your intention was, that you are going to use it, then you take it out as you wish. You can take out 20 outfits if you wish. Put them back, because you are, each one you're taking out, that's the one that you think that maybe you will wear, so that would be fine. So, so what we covered today was what makes something into a group, what makes something into a unit. That's what we covered today. Next week, we'll have to cover what makes it different kinds. We have different types of apples. The sweet apples and the sour apples, Granny Smith and Cortland's, McIntosh. Does that make it, is that the same, or the fact that they're apples, is that the same or not? What do you say? All apples, but different. Oranges and tangerines. Tangerines and clementines. Are they different or the same? Granny Smith and Cortland's.
They're all out.
I know.
Like a Jew, you know, an apple and apple.
I know, but for Shabbos, each one has its own identity. And therefore, if you have different kinds of apples in one bowl, it is a mixture. And take what you want when you're ready to eat it, and leave what you don't want behind. Oranges and clementines, clementines and tangerines, they're all separate. And so that's what we're going to learn about, what makes something separate. I hope this is a very detailed malacha. Please read it. How many of you have read this before? Do so. You see how detailed it is. I mean, just to remember all of this, unless you keep practicing as you're doing Shabbos. What can I do? What can I not do? Okay, I'm giving myself a test. Looking now at the table, what can I do? What can I not do? Even if I'm not going to do anything, but just to test yourself, what could you or can you not do? That's something that you should. That's the way it becomes a part of your life. Then you don't have to think twice. It becomes natural that this is what you do. So the first thing would be is to read. Please, for next week, everyone read this chapter.
I have a question.
Yes, now your question.
Okay, great. So let's say, here, I'll give you the broad question and then scenario.
Mhm.
My broad question is a grand piano muksa?
A grand piano.
And a grand piano, because every single time you move it, it loosens. So
What was a grand?
a grand piano.
Grand
like
piano, okay.
A big piano, and like it becomes out of tune when you move it. And so I'm wondering, because we have a grand piano in the dorm, and it's often used as a table. And so I'm wondering how the scenario works. Is it muksa? Or if you use it at the table before Shabbos, can it be continued to use as a table? Or if it's not used as a table before Shabbos, and it's completely clear, can you put books on it when Shabbos starts? Or should you just avoid the piano as a whole? Because every time someone leans on it or pushes on it, it undoes and it comes out of tune. That's how pianos work. And it's my burning question.
Burning answer for that. The class is dismissed, but anyway, the piano is muktzah. Now, the definition of what could and cannot be done with muktzah is it cannot be moved. If it's not moved and it won't move, then you could make use of it. In other words, you have in your kitchen, for instance, you have a stove. Your stove is muktzah. Can you put something on the stove? No, this the fire is off. It's just you want to use it as or the same thing as you have a dishwasher. Can you use it as your counter? The dishwasher is muktzah. It's used for it's a mechanical. The answer is as long as it's not moving, you could use it as a table. You could use it as a counter. You could use it, but once it moves, you're not allowed to move muktzah. So your grand piano, it moves when you push it, cannot be.
Even if it's used as a table before.
That's correct. But you can only use it as a table if it's not going to be moved directly.
And if, like someone leans on it, like that's like the water cooler.
So that's the same as you're leaning against the tree. We had when you were there in the class when we leaned against the tree and the tree moved. Okay. The tree is muktzah, but as long as you can lean against it, as long as it's not going to move, like going to shake. So then you can't. So the question, you can't, not with your hands, not with your hands.
So if we have something, an important list of where we go on Shabbos, sitting on the piano.
Oh, you can take it off. You can take, as long as you're not going to move it as you take it off.
Yeah.
You can take your list off. You can take it, you can take it off.
Take it off and take it before Shabbos, you put it on.
You could put it on as long as it's not going to move the piano.
Okay.
Again, the key that we're looking at is it going to move or not? We cannot move it with our hands,
With your hands.
right?
So would the best solution be to avoid the piano?
If there's a chance that it'll be moved, yes. I mean, don't put yourself into a situation that you might be moving it.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
great, thank you.
okay, let's see. Did I get everyone's attendance? Sitting across, your name again is?